seeing the sights and walking the beaches and seeing all the wildlife, and we're pretty ready to head on, moving north. Probably not very far, only a short day's ride, and then we'll stop at possibly White Rabbit or something, or else at Pounawea, I think it's called. Getting out of Curio Bay now, moving on up the coast in short hops. We've got plenty. The Catlins, visiting some of the waterfalls and views and beaches. Curio Bay is a little bit of, it's almost like a little bit of Phillip Island transplanted to the south of New Zealand. It's a holiday house, very much focused on the surf. There's actually a surf school here. Lovely view of the inlet down here. To a place called Waikawa. It's St Mary's Church in Waikawa. Oh look, there's a parishioner over there checking out the church. Don't think there's any services today.
Oh, no, it's none. It's closed in 1994.
Oh, did it?
Beautiful little church. Oh, it's the new roof on it. Beautiful windows. Oh, it would be beautiful inside.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Nice little church.
Look at the little entry it's got.
Stone laid by the Bishop of Dunedin.
1930.
Just Isaac, Bishop of Dunedin.
Isaac Richards' name was Richards.
Oh yeah. Just says Isaac on the stone.
Yeah,
May 1930, is it? Nice view. A real Art Deco sort of house. You know, the old farm wagons. Oh, sheep are a little bit spooked. Niagara Falls Cafe and gallery.
Hey?
You want to pull in here?
Oh, I don't know.
Staff shortage, closed. Lots of places running closed on short hours, struggling to serve because of staff shortages. Ever since COVID, that's been a problem in Australia too. Relying on overseas travellers to do a lot of work for cut price rates, and now there's not so many overseas travellers and people don't want to work for such paltry rates. They say there's been a drought down here, but jeepers, looking at the landscape, sure doesn't look like a drought in my world. Yeah, but just saying, they reckon they've got a drought. Doesn't look like it here. Oh, sheep just been shorn by the looks. Maybe, I don't know. Shearers at work in there? They've done some more of that hedge pruning on the rainforest on the road. Quite amazing really, because being rainforest I expect it grows pretty vigorously, and long gradual climb here, but we're getting towards the top of it, I think. These not. Over the top, I think, rolling down. That's good for a change. Get some breathe air through. Cool down a bit. Gorgeous day. Yeah, it really is. The old ruin. It's got a satellite dish, so it's still in use, I guess. Chaslands Historic Cemetery. One of many communities along this coast that's declined, I guess. Tells you a bit about the first people, Maori tribes. Nai Tahuanui. European settlement began 1893-94. A lot of information there about it. Walk to the cemetery takes 10 minutes. This is the Heathfield Cemetery at Chaslands. It's a really pleasant sort of setting for a cemetery now. Even though all the almost all the graves are not marked, it's just pleasant under the tea tree, or the manuka as they call it here.
There's information about a plant down here.
Is there?
It's found only in the South Island, adapted to dry conditions. 1941.
Yes. $1928. Well, after a very long, solid climb from Chaslands and the cemetery, we've made it to the Whistling Frog. Whistling Frog Cafe, dining, camping and lodging. And they've got ice creams and coffee and all the good things. Well, we settled in last night in a cabin, this little one here. Took a roofed accommodation for the night because the forecast was for a fair bit of rain. But surprisingly, the rain never happened. It stayed fine all night. We've had a few drops this morning, about 3 or 4, and that's about it. And they've got a very nice cafe. We stopped in for tea, for dinner, for an afternoon tea. Cooked our dinner in the camp kitchen. Fairly, slightly cramped, but quite a good camp kitchen. good showers here. Enjoyed that time. Now we're heading on today to Owaka, and there's a few waterfalls along the way that we'll see. So that should be so saying farewell to the Whistling Frog, the big water tank there, and we're back to the main road. Well, main road, it's pretty quiet main road, but it'll take us through to Owaka. Good descent for a while. It would, wouldn't it?
Oh, beautiful.
Cruising along nicely. Up to the rainforest, yeah. Yeah, it's all rainforest along here. Pretty dense. 200 metres to Trails tractor display. Tortuku forest carriage. Do you want to go and have a look? The waterfalls are a fair bit further on. Going in to have a look at the Tortuku Estuary Boardwalk. Just a short hop in off the main highway. This looks like the tramway they would have used for the logging mill that's cut away on both sides to form a real trench. All around dense forest and lots of bird call. We're at the Tortuku River estuary. There's a boardwalk out here. We're checking it all out. It's low tide. Lots of little crabs wandering around, hiding in their crab holes.
Oh, well, they're sort of sitting in the opening of their little holes. You look down, you see them.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Sitting in the opening. So they can go either way. They can come out, or they can quickly scurry back in again if they feel threatened. I think some of those things, I mean, there are the mud balls, but the snails. They're snails.
Are they?
They're snail shells.
Snail shells. All over the estuary, little round
things. See them?
round
Look,
shells.
look
Yeah, I can see them.
flowing. There.
Yeah, it's the river. And the tide's coming in by the looks of that river. You can see it, unless it's the wind on rippling the surface.
Yeah.
Over here's the boardwalk we walked in along. Just a short one. And we'll head back soon. A lot of tea tree and rainforest up on the hills over there. Really quite thick rainforest actually. Back out after a visit to the estuary. It's very nice. This is the Tortuku Bay Scenic Reserve along here. All rainforest through here. Deep forest. Lake Wilkie Walk for a view of the lake. Want to go there? Keep on going. This is Florence Hill Look out, there's a cave down below, a spouting cave. We seem to have climbed up into the fog here. Don't know whether you can even see the beach on the screen, but it's a fair way down. Don't think I'll go down to the spouting cave, but yeah, it's a big surf beach out there, and we're right here on top of the hill. It was a climb, a solid climb to get up here. I'll go and have a look at what's on the signboard over here. Oh, first it's commemorating the wreck of the Otago at Chaslands Mistake. All passengers and crew survived. That's pretty good. And also recognising the efforts of settlers in the area. Inhabited by the Maori, started by James Cook in 1770. Whalers and sealers arrived in 1810 to 1830, and settlers from 1850 onwards. And yes, as I said, the panorama. Oh, what we would see on a clear day. Oh, and there's really nice surf comes in here. Look at it. We're closer to the South Pole than we are to the equator here, as in most of the Southland it's the case. Oh, beautiful on a clear day. And the map, we've got a copy of that map. It's a very handy map, got all the information about places along the way. Come past Lake Wilkie, decided not to go there. Florence Hill Lookout is where we are now. Then we go to Papatauai, and then the Matai Falls, and eventually we go through to Owaka is the idea. See you later. The presence of the bike seems to have bothered the local cows rather a bit. Some of them are in one paddock and some in the other, and there's a gate just here, and they feel like they can't go through. We'll see you later. We're off. You can see all the sea mist blowing over. Very foggy up on the hills. Well, this is a unique little setting. The Lost Gypsy Cafe. I'm not sure whether it's open or closed. It says closed, open 10 to 5, and currently it's 12:30. Winding through the theatre. We shall have to find out. Classic old houses. Oh. River here, river estuary. Broken out, burned through the clouds, the fog is lifted. It's a lovely day. Hasn't it?
Well, we've had some, yeah, we've been one or two big hill climbs, especially back at the start. But
yeah, this bit through here was quite nice.
Yeah.
And out there we've got it's a warm day, but a bit of sea fog around, blowing in. But then around the corner here, we've got a hill. Can't see it from here. Just having lunch by the roadside.
Lunch will power us up.
It will. Yeah. And we're walking up to the Mai Tai Falls. It's a short walk in. Up a fairly flat track really. And a beautiful shady creek full of tree ferns and fungi covered trees. And then we come into the waterfalls. What a great view out there. Heard 'em, boys. Got the cows a bit spooked. Off they go. Just cruising through Awaka now. We had a bite to eat for dinner and we're going out to a place called Pounawea, which is recommended as a nice camping site by the locals, so we'll take their word for it. Oh my god, teapot land. Lots and lots of teapots. Here's where we turn to Pounawea. Coming at Pounawea along the road alongside the river. Very much a maritime feel to the place. Big yacht moored up there near a wharf. Oh gee, that's an ancient looking old boat over there on the sands. This is the other bit of water, the estuary of the Catlins Lake. They just knew how to go in that gate. We camped here at Pounawea, and I guess it's like camping, as the New Zealanders would say. It can be all sorts of things, and we had the luxury of actually camping in the end in a cabin. We had a cabin available. The lady, after initially saying there was no cabins, changed her minds, and we had ourselves a room, settled in. We still had to use our sleeping bags. That was the only disadvantage, because they're preparing for a long weekend, and cleaning up the cabins was the thing that the lady was worried about, with a shortage of staff. So there's staff shortages all over New Zealand at the moment, a bit like Australia, and so they've got to be aware of what they can do. Some places it's a bit tricky, but we explored Pounawea and Awaka, went back into town. We spent some time observing the seal. Now he was out on the lagoon, on the inlet, and I don't know where he or she, I think it's a mother seal, because the seal had a pup and was calling out looking for the pup, because the pup had gone a wandering, I guess, like all kids do. It's the inlet. There's oyster catchers and herons and spoonbills and Pacific gulls, all sorts of wildlife here, but also the seal. Now you won't be able to see the seal at all. I can't at the moment. Oh, I can. Way over on the other side of the inlet over there, on the far side, there's a little black mark. You probably can't see it on this camera, but it's not a seal, it's a sea lion, shall I say. New Zealand.
We better go into the water because it's tide's going out, I think. Spoonbill right here. She's under the water.
This whole lake, it's called Catlin's Lake. and it pretty much empties every day, twice a day. Just winds up being a river channel out there. It's probably half tide now, and then at high tide the whole thing's full. There's a huge lake up there that's full, but the complete lake empties every day, twice a day. It's amazing. It's a really peaceful location here. We're going to head on shortly, and not travelling very far, but travelling to another nice little settlement called Kaka Point.